Hey there, I'm Joel Lightcatcher, and I want to see you in the air flying your own FPV drone, or as we like to call them, quadcopters. I've created the beginner's guide to building your own drone, and I'm going to show you some scenes right now. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Quadcopter Coach. I'm your host, Joel Lightcatcher, and today we're going to be talking about the Arrow V3 camera that I have installed in my Phoenix 215 quadcopter. We've just finished building this in our beginner course, and we're going to get into programming. I want to give you a little heads up on these cameras. All FPV cameras were pretty much originally designed for the security industry, so there's a lot of features that we never use, and they're kind of like silly if you think about it. So let's get into this. I already have my programming board already installed, and we're going to be going over things right now. We begin by pressing the center button, and that brings us into the programming mode. You'll notice under lens, we keep that as manual, and I'll tell you why. There, that's for a camera controlled, video controlled, and manual, and that's what we need. Going down to exposure, I suggest you leave this alone because we really want auto, because the sun changes through the day. Morning, noon, evening sun, it's all different. And when a cloud comes over, it's going to mess things up more. So if we were to change this by speed, by flicker reduction, by any of these things, and we get a cloud passing over, it's going to really mess up our video. Keep it at auto, that's the best suggestion. Brightness, I control that in my FPV goggles, so there's no reason to change it here. I have no idea what that even is. Ignore it. This stands for dynamic, wide, dynamic range. That's it. Dynamic, wide, dynamic range. It's a big word. And this is something you do want turned on because this changes the contrast to keep the picture sharp for you. So you want to have that. I recommend that. I'm going to go back down to return, hit the center button again. White balance, I usually keep it right here. I don't change it. If you were to see, you'll change it, you'll see number 2 is a bit warm, bluish, more bluish. Kind of nice, but I'm not sure. Oh, we're going to keep it back to manual. By the way, all these settings you really should do outside in the daylight on the times you normally fly, because this is an inside room and this is artificial light, and all these settings are really bogus. I'm going to be returning outside and doing this all over again to get it right. Anyway, just to continue. Backlight, you don't need it. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It's ridiculous. Daylight, night. Okay, this is interesting. If you're flying and the sun's going down, it can revert to black and white. Let's go see what happens there. Normally, you might want color. Black and white happens when the light gets dim, and I have no idea what that is. Auto will flicker will switch between black and white and color. I kind of like color all the time, so I'm going to put it on color. That's my choice. DCP, that's interesting. That checks the black points of this particular camera, and for that, you're going to need your camera lens cover. So put it over. I know you're not going to see anything right now. And I'm going to click DPC. There's the camera lens cover on. And now it's processing and it's setting the black point. That's it. Take the camera lens cover off and you're done. Under Special, next one down. Camera title. You don't need it in our build because you're using Betaflight to put in your craft name and all the information that you want displayed. And your camera also shows voltage and stuff. So you don't want that. I ignore it. Motion, again, security camera stuff, park lane. Watch this. I'm just going to show you how ridiculous it is. Kind of looks like a Jedi Knight trick. That's a rear parking camera feature. You're not parking reverse. Keep it off. You're not going to do image adjustments. Leave all this off. Unless you speak Chinese, leave it on English. Those are the only two choices. And then hit return. If you screwed up, hit the reset button there and it all goes back to normal. And I'm going to go down to exit. And I'm done. That's it. But like I said, when I'm outside, I'm going to do this again because I want to do it in real daylight conditions. I hope you learned something. If you didn't, if you have a question, leave a comment. We'll get back to you. Bye-bye. Welcome to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed yourself and learned something today. If you did, please leave a comment below. Introduce yourself, say hi, and I want you to meet someone. That's Ed. Ed's my assistant. When you click on Ed's head, you subscribe to this channel because I put out fresh quadcopter videos every week. And if you subscribe, you'll know about it. You'll be the first to know about it. Until next time, I will see you in the air.